Satya Dhamma Reflection on June 30th, 2022. Being indifferent is not okay. Maintaining knowing or anything is just maintaining of suffering. This is unbearable state. No is not no itself. Disregard even from the disregard itself. This is called self-purification. Purifying the purification itself. To be limited with just disregarding is not okay. Using the disregard as a stillness or indifference, who's doing that? Disregard even from the disregard itself. The Mai or disregard or non-attachment is so close to stillness and indifference, but it's not the same. No is not no itself. It must be purified. All the steps of Titi or the assumed Titi. Continue to purify it. Continue to purify the assumed. All about dropping, sinking in any state. No is not even no itself. All the Titi regarding yes with any state. Sinking in any state, thinking that it is the way. Just like stillness, indifference, or ordinariness is still a state, thinking that it is not anything. Purify all steps. No is not even no itself. When the mind doesn't fall into any titi of yes or no, then there is no sinking. Ordinariness is also a sinking state. Stillness or indifference or any state is a kind of sinking state of mind. Purify the assumed. This is like pulling up. Use the terminologies to pull it up. Pull any state upward. No is not no itself. No to this, to that, to whatever. No is not no itself. No is not the no itself. In this way, any state will not be sunken. Any conditions will not be sunken. This is called purifying all realms of existence. We have to continue to make a conclusion, to purify the conclusion itself. Purifying the mind itself, the disregard itself, the non-attachment itself. No is not even no itself, child. No is not the no itself. This is all about non-attachment, which is natural. This is not attached even to the non-attachment itself. When we continue to make a conclusion, this is like giving it to samsara. Samsara of all types of minds. There are the attempt to dwell in itself individually. Therefore, it just continues individually as such, on and on. If there is going to shift or change anything, it's still in the way of attempting to fixate, to hold on as usual. Therefore, we have to continue to purify for all types of minds, purify all terminologies, all the assumed. Without the Dhamma reminder, it's like blind, it's not brightening. There is still boundaries, always being limited to a certain extent. Give no significance to the disregard itself. well with it. No is not even know itself. No is not know itself. No is not the know itself, not attached even to the non-attachment itself. No grasping even to the non-grasping itself. This is the same essence. It's all about purifying realms of existence within the mind, purifying all the cycle of becoming. Give no significance and not grasping to the non-attachment itself. Let's continue to remind oneself, because disregarding can be formed in the state of stillness and indifference. It's like being blocked. It looks like disregarding is there, but it's not yet there, because through disregarding is not even having any significance to itself. Disregard even from the disregard itself. The disregard doesn't grasp itself. Don't use the disregard or mind into equanimity, into stillness, ordinariness, or being rigid in its state of single-mindedness. That's not the way. Disregard is not itself. Let's purify terminologies themselves. The uninvolved purifies itself. The disregard purifies itself. No is not know itself. Continue to purify all the terminologies in themselves. Purify the Dhamma reminder itself. Then it will be without flaw to help samsara onwards. Otherwise, there will only be the attempt to dwell, which is a lot. Ordinariness, indifference, or stillness is called the attempt to dwell. Disregard even from the disregard itself. No grasping for the disregard itself. Let's remind oneself through terminologies. Otherwise, it's not brightening, it's blind, attempting to dwell individually, which is linking towards one another, is pulling each other down. Each day, when one sinks in any state of mind, it becomes sticky, being carried away to one's own way of living. This is pulling others down, because it's linking, it's collective. Therefore, if samsara is not yet ending, don't think that you are in the state of ending. How can there's ending when we are amidst all that is not yet ending, in the surroundings not yet ending? When we are all in the same ending, not becoming samsara, this is true ending. It has to go, proceed together simultaneously. Let's continue to make a conclusion at all times. We have to help in ending as helping for samsara at all times. Don't try to end, to not end one's own mind by oneself. Help through ending. Ending as helping. This is not about oneself alone, not even about many altogether. We are amidst samsara. This is not about the attempt to dwell. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, is not about the attempt to dwell. Let's purify the attempt to dwell only. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, is not about trying to dwell. This is not about living alone or even living with many altogether. It's the samuttai. The attempt to dwell is the samuttai. Let's purify the attempt to dwell within the states of mind. the attempt to dwell within any states of mind, inside and outside. Disregard even from the disregard itself only. Purify the attempt to dwell. The attempt to be still, to be indifferent, to be in the ordinariness. This is the attempt to dwell totally. This is all about samudaya. It's impossible to not make a conclusion towards ending, and it has to be purifying the purification itself. Then it will purify throughout the attempt to dwell, purifying oneself and all things, helping through ending, ending as helping altogether. Helping through ending, ending as helping. Disregard even from the disregard itself. Without the Dhamma reminder, it seems like everyone seems to be withering, not brightening. Each Dhamma reminder is beyond the existence of oneself, beyond having friends, beyond having the groups of fellows. This is the purification of the attempt to dwell. Just like each sentence is the Buddha. So it's like you have the Buddha inside of yourself from each sentence. Each Buddha in each Buddha era is coming down to help giving ending, helping to seize the delusions in the mind, not to encourage you to become in heaven realm or any type of realms, to become someone or something. This is to help end the delusion to be. This is to give ending the delusion to be someone or something. Ending as helping each Buddha era is to help end this delusion. Therefore, the reminder helps purify itself. It's like a Buddha. Diligently remind oneself without having any Buddha amulet over your neck. Help end, ending as helping, ending the uninvolved, ending the disregard itself. Make conclusion to purify the conclusion itself. This is not about any type of reminder that is flowing in its way of delusion. It is the purification within itself, self-purification. No is not no itself. That's it. Purifying the Tithi right there. The Tithi within Dhamma. Tithi within the path, within Dhamma, within the results. Tithi, purifying Tithi itself. Opinions and meanings that purify themselves. No fixation to the non-fixation itself. This is the same essence. This is not about who is it that is fixated or not. Who is it that is not attached or not. Disregard from the disregard itself, that's it. It's the same essence. Not attached even to the non-attachment itself. Ending all about non-attachment. Ending all about attachment or non-attachment. This type of conversation is beyond feeling good. Samsara has a lot of conversations going on, which creates realm of existence. We have to have a conversation that give ending to the delusion to the mind, helping through ending. We bow down and giving respect to the Buddha so much. Instead, just give ending at helping, as the Buddha's teachings. Disregard from the disregard itself well. Purify the disregard well. Don't use the disregard as a titi. The attempt to disregard is the titi that is circling. No like this, no like that. No is not no itself. Don't be obsessed to reject, because that is the opinions and meanings. This is using titi as a path. It's a titi. No is not no itself. This is the reminder that purifies itself. It will not become the Dhamma reminder that is circling, which creating a rising mind. There are all types of path is linking with titi, which is compromising as called samma titi, which is the right view. It's still a titi, still an opinion and meaning, which turning into using titi as a path, circling in itself as a path. We must end it right away. No is not no itself. No is not even no itself. Disregard even from the disregard itself. This is ending for both right view and wrong view. Both miccha titi and samma titi is not becoming titi. Purify titi, purifying opinions and meanings, purifying right view and wrong view simultaneously. Otherwise, it's going to be created as a path. This is like a conclusion of all Buddha eras for you to listen to. To be obsessed to create a path and result is not aligned with Nibbana. Nibbana is not even Nibbana itself. The emptiness doesn't signify itself. Using titi regarding emptiness, being empty or not empty, this is opinions, giving meanings. When there are a lot of titi, then it can create like a verses of Dharma, like poems, poetry, which continue to create the arising, the cycle of becoming of titi. No is not the no itself, child. No is not no itself. That's it. This is without flaw, not becoming titi, not becoming opinions and meanings. Because the titi is unrealized that it gives yes to something, to any emotions, to any state. Whenever one thinks on attempting to dwell within any state of mind, it's like one's attempting to yes to certain state of mind. So remind oneself as no is not no itself. Then the mind will not sink into any state, in any state of realms of existence, any feelings and emotions. It is realm of existence when one sinks within any state of mind. When yes to any state of mind, samsara not yet ending. How can we end? At the moment, it's only just helping through ending. This is not about ending within the ending. Help make a conclusion through ending. This is not ending for the sake of itself. Once we help through ending, this is about proceeding through the great compassion onwards. No is not no itself. It means for all and everything, proceeding throughout altogether with the whole samsara. This is called helping through ending, helping through making a conclusion towards ending. It's the great compassion. It's not for the sake of oneself. This will be like Buddha within everyone. Helping through ending, helping through making a conclusion. Disregard even from the disregard even from the disregard itself altogether. This is ending as helping, make a conclusion to help through ending, not for the sake of conclusion or not for the sake of ending. When samsara is not yet ending, then it's not truly ending. All the arahants and the Buddha still amid samsara as a president to help end, to help purify through the extinction. The arahants still amid samsara to purify the delusion as helping them. It's impossible to end by oneself individually, all alone. Therefore, let's proceed all together simultaneously and continuously through the great compassion, the Mahakaruna. This is the assume the great compassion has nothing to do with cycle of becomings. It's impossible to count on the cycle of becomings. This is the great compassion. Every Dharma reminder is the great compassion. Every assumed is the great compassion. Beyond being realms of existence, beyond lifetime, beyond cycle of becoming. This is the great compassion. The Mahakaruna in helping through the conclusion, through ending, to help one another. Not counting lifetimes has nothing to do with arising or ceasing. This is the great compassion, the Mahakaruna. What you know, even the Buddhas still being amidst samsara since the first Buddha onwards, as a president to help end. How would the beings know and realize this? Even the Arhants still in the midst of samsara, even 10,000 of years that they still remaining, still a tiny bit, they still presidents within the samsara by the essence of the truth, which is in reality that is still remaining as president. The Buddhas and the Arahants, they are as such naturally. Even they don't realize that they bless the beings, it's still automatic. The Arhants are like that. They bless by the essence automatically because they are still amidst samsara. There is the natural purification that happens through the Arahants themselves. Therefore, for everything it has to go through compassion or great compassion, not just the meanings of arising and ceasing, or lifetimes, or cycle of becoming. That's not it. The Mahakaruna, the great compassion. Pass on the great compassion. Disregard, even from the disregard itself. Purify through the extinction as helping. This is the great compassion, the Mahakaruna. Simultaneous purification of the extinction throughout the earth, air, water, and fire. Simultaneously with every atom. Don't just look at the sky. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, all the same, then it will purify through the extinction all the same to everything, to the four elements of earth, air, water, and fire, and all things. Whether it is visible or invisible, just purify samsara within the seeing itself. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, will purify the samsara, realms within samsara, within the sight. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, continuously purify through the extinction continuously. There's no need to have a thought of having enough or not in purifying. Help through ending, help through purifying of the extinction onwards. There will be no more duality of Tithi as such. Whether it is ending or not, finishing or not, let's step over such Tithi. Continue through the great compassion onwards. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. Not attached even to the non-attachment itself. Let's continue onwards all together as such, all the same as such. All the belief value individually within oneself that is bound. This is because of one is grasping for such Tithi as regarding if it's ending or not ending, finishing or not finishing. Continue with the great compassion. This is not about having enough or not. Continue with the great compassion onwards. Why it's not ending? Let's go over such belief value through the great compassion within this samsara. Continue onwards through the great compassion. Whether it is ending or not ending, finishing or not finishing, it has nothing to do here because this is bound by the belief values. Ending or not ending, finishing or not finishing. Let's change it. Continue with the great compassion. So such Tithi can be ending. Let's not circling within such a Tithi as ending or not ending. Let's help through ending continuously so that we will not grasp for ending or not ending, circling in this duality on and on. This is like deceiving oneself through one's own Tithi. We have to go beyond this. Ending as helping. Helping through ending altogether. This is the task that continues at all times.
ยังมีอยู่เหรอหลอนยังมีอยู่แล้วหลอนด้วยหลอกหลอนตัวเอามาหลอกหลอน
Before talk about the grasping mind that's still haunting one, hallucinate oneself. This having self-purification in the disregard itself. Self-purification in the Tithi itself. Within the uninvolved itself, so that we will not try to uninvolve with anything. Uninvolved within the uninvolved itself, we're with it. This is self-purification in the purification itself. Mahakaruna. Samsara is always here. Therefore, don't use Tithi to think that when is it is going to end. You have the duty to share the great compassion onwards. Continue to purify through the conclusion onwards. Disregard that purifies itself. Self-purification within know itself. Know is not know itself. Disregard even from the disregard itself. This is self-purification for the disregard. Don't use the disregard or mind as anything. Self-purification in the disregard itself. Disregard even from the disregard itself. Purify the extinction itself. That great compassion has to be assumed. Otherwise, it will not be proceeded. Even Nibbana is already there as a foundation, but the great compassion has to be proceeded. Just like the embodiment of Buddha that has been distributed all over. That is a kind of great compassion. The avatar, like the representative of the Buddhas, passing on the essence of the truth. This is beyond the words of Buddha lineage. It has meanings that is beyond Buddha lineage, which is the Maha Karuna, the great compassion. Continue with the Maha Karuna onwards. This has the meanings that is beyond Buddha seed because of the Maha Karuna. The word Buddha seed is the proportion of the Buddhas, which is, in other words, is called the avatar of the Buddhas, or Buddha seeds, or the Buddha lineage. The true essence is the Maha Karuna. You need not to bring down full on of great compassion because it will hurt and harm the beings. It will create Vedana, the unbearable. Each sentence is like linking to the essence of the Mahaparami. In this way, all the Buddha seeds will not be rotten. However, the Buddha seeds, they cannot be in other ways because they are from the Buddhas. They are the proportion of the Buddhas. However, that they are in trouble in whatever ways, still they will be beyond that. Their essence will be absolute. So each sentence will stimulate the essence of the Buddha seeds. They are very fast to get it because they come from the same source. They cannot be in other ways. The essence of helping ending for samsara only. Whether they are in the form of men, women, deities, or in any realms of existence, there are tremendous numbers of them. in
ก็เยอะเนี่ยมนุษย์ก็เยอะ
everywhere,
ในเทพในพรหม
in the humans or non-humans,
แม้แต่ในมาร
even within the Mara.
มีความเป็นหนอนเนื้อประชางคุณ
Even within the Mara, there are still Buddha seed in them. They just have
ป
the
ราบไปปราบมาเป็นมารไป
karma of too
เป็น
much
ภาพตบะ
serious
ใช้ตบะมากเกินไปก็เลย
in
กลายเป็น
using
มาร
their
แต่ว่า
power.
เนื้อประชางคุณ
Therefore, they turn into Mara. But they are the Buddha seed.
นั่นเลย
They exist such a
เต็ม
beings,
หมด
such a
เมื่อ
Buddha
ได้
seed.
ฟังเมื่อได้สดับสรุปเองนะ
Therefore, once you listen to the truth,
แต่ละภพแต่ละภพ
it will stimulate
ได้เลย
through the essence.
ไม่เกี่ยวแม้กระทั่งตัวไม่เกี่ยว
Uninvolved, even within the uninvolved
เรียบ
itself.
ร้อยเลยจะได้ไม่เป็น
That's
บท
it.
เพื่อรบปรบมือกับสังฆวัฏ
This will give ending to all fights
จะได้ไม่
and quarrels towards samsara
ไม่ไม่กระทั่ง
and
ตัว
all
ไม่
beings.
เอง
Disregard, even from the
ดับ
disregard
ไว้
itself,
เลยลาบดาหนอน
purify the extinction itself. This is
จะโดย
nice.
โดยนิโรธโดยนิพพาน
All the Buddha seeds
ตัดไปเรื่อย
will help ends for samsara onwards, not using restless tithi
ๆแต่
on and on obsessively,
ทิฏฐิสารวนทิฏฐิสัง
not to circling and preoccupy with
รู้สังฆวัฏ
one's own opinions and meanings. Samsara within knowing itself.
จะไม่เป็นสังฆวัฏ
Once
ในตัวรู้
the tithi and the knowing is purified, it will not turn into such tithi,
ไม่เกี่ยวตัวไม่เกี่ยวเองอย่างเงี้ย
uninvolved within the uninvolved
ไม่ต้อง
itself.
ไปปล่อยหลงไม่เกี่ยวกับอะไร
This has nothing to do with being deluded to uninvolved with anything.
โคตรเง่าในตัวไม่เกี่ยว
This is ending the origin of the uninvolved,
โคตรเง่าในอริยะและปุถุชน
ending the root of
โคตรไม่เป็นเง่าเลย
being the worldlings.
อันนี้ให้ไว้อยู่แล้วก็โอเคนะจะได้ไม่ต้องทรมาน เมื่อไหร่จะหมดเมื่อไหร่จะหมด
Ending as helping
มันยังมีอยู่
will not create suffering. Otherwise, you will quarrel with samsara.
ทิฏฐิตอนนั้นละ
It will have nothing to do with such a tithi, such opinions and meanings given.
องค์พุทธะยังท่ามกลางสังสารวัฏอยู่ด้วยกัน
All the Buddhas still remains within the samsara by being the president
แต่สรรพสัตว์ไม่รู้
through
เอง
Nirodha and Nibbana. It's just that the beings don't know that they
พวกมึงก็
exist,
เหมือนกันตายแล้ว
that
มึง
they
ไปไหน
still
มึงไม่ไป
remain.
ไหนแล้วมึงก็อยู่ในสังสารวัฏนี่แหละ
They don't go anywhere
เหมือน
else.
กันน่ะมึงคิดว่ามึงตายไป
You
แล้ว
are
มึง
the
ไปไหน
same. You think you
เสีย
die
ใจแล้ว
and
มึ
going
อยู่ในสังสาร
somewhere.
วัฏนี่แหละ
Don't regret
ขนาด
anything.
องค์พุทธะยังท่ามกลาง
You still remain within samsara. Even the Buddha still remains here.
ยังเป็นประธานโดย
Even the Mahabuddhas still being as a president amidst samsara by the foundation of Nirodha and Nibbana. The beings has misunderstanding
เข้าใจผิดแล้วคิดว่ามันไปไหนตาย
that
ไปแล้ว
the
ไปไหน
Buddhas has gone.
เห็นอยู่ใน
Where are they
สังสารวัฏ
going? They still remaining in samsara as well as the beings.
เกิดใหม่อีกแล้ว
No how many times that they died, they still remain within samsara, still coming and going. Where else they are going really?
ดังนั้นไม่ต้องไปเสียอกเสียใจ
Therefore,
ตายแล้ว
there is no need to be
ตายไปเถอะ
sorry.
ก็มาใหม่ไปแล้วก็มา
Just die. You can come back again.
ถามว่าจบช่วยเนี่ย
The word
ช่วยกันจบ
helping through ending as
ไม่
helping
ต้องมามองตรงที่หมดหรือยังไม่หมด
has
จบหรือ
nothing
ยัง
to
หรือ
do
ยังไม่
with
จบของตัวเองผิดถนัดเลย
oneself, one's own tithi
ทร
regarding
มาน
one is ending or not, finishing or not, because
มันมี
it's
อยู่ต
just
ลอด
suffering.
ช่วยกันตลอดไปเรื่อย
One samsara is still here at all times. We have to help end for samsara at all times. Disregard from the disregard itself continuously. No is not no
ๆ
itself
จบ
continuously.
อย่างเดียวอะสรุป
We
จบ
have
อย่างเดียว
only one task to help make a conclusion towards ending, not attach even to the non-attachment itself continuously. not trying to not attach until being
ไม่ยึดแม้กระทั่ง
exhausted,
ไม่ยึดเองไปเรื่อยๆ
not attach even to the non-attachment itself
นี่แหละเรีย
continuously.
กว่าจบช่วย
This is helping through ending,
อย่าไป
ending
มอง
as
ให้อะไร
helping.
มีอะไรหมด
Don't look at what is still there,
ถ้าเหลือก็มีทั้ง
what is
ภาวะ
not
เหลืออยู่
there. What is there, that means the whole samsara still remains.
อย่าไปมองตรงนั้น
Don't look
จบ
at
ช่วย
that
ไปเรื่อย
point.
ๆอย่างเดียว
Helping through ending only, ending as
ภาวะ
helping
มันอยู่
only.
เนี่ย
Samsara still remains. Don't have questions about it.
ฉะนั้นจึงเกิดมหากรุณาขึ้น
That's why there is the great compassion.
มหากรุณาเนี่ยมาจากไหน
Where is derived from
ก็มา
the
จาก
great
สังวรเป็น
compassion?
เพราะมันมีสังวร
It's
เป็น
because of samsara. The cause
ถ้าสังวร
is the
ไม่มีแล้ว
samsara.
มหากรุณาจะมี
If
อย่าง
samsara doesn't exist,
ไม่มีเหตุที่จะให้
how
มหากรุ
can
ณา
great compassion exist? There is no
นิพ
cause
พานก็ไม่ใช่นิพพาน
to use great compassion.
ต่อให้นิพพาน
because
อยู่แล้ว
nibbana
ต้องไปโลกมหากรุณาขึ้น
doesn't
เพราะสังวรมีอยู่
have any significance in
ถ้า
itself.
สังวรไม่มีอยู่
However, it
ก็ไม่
needs
ต้องมีมหา
to use great compassion because samsara still exists.
ว่างก็ไม่ใช่ว่างอีก
Emptiness is not emptiness already as it is. Nibbana is not nibbana as it is.
ดังนั้นคำว่ามหากรุณา
Therefore,
ก็
the
จะ
word
ไปเรื่อย
of great compassion, it means to help end, make a conclusion towards ending
ๆ
continuously.
สรุปกันไปเรื่อย
Make a conclusion to purify the conclusion itself
ๆที่มันไม่
continuously.
เกี่ยวกับทิฏฐินะ
That which has nothing to do with tithi,
สิ่งที่มันไม่
with
เกี่ยวกับ
opinions and meanings. It has nothing to do with
นิโรธนิพพานละ
insight
ไปเลย
and knowing. Use Nirodha and Nibbana to purify
ประ
onwards.
โยคที่ล้าง
Each sentence is having self-purification in itself. This is not creating samsara within the sentence. It's the terminologies that purify themselves.
ไม่แล้วตัวไม่เอง
Disregard, even from the disregard itself, for example. This is called self-purification in the terminologies, in the sentences themselves. They will not create samsara in themselves.